Here we are, number 50 years old today.
50.
50 years old, yeah. So, man, welcome everybody. We're without producer Wes, but we have, man, we got something better than Wes. You know how I feel?
Man, we got the OG.
We got the OG in
We got set side bets on what minute mark that Wes makes a comment because
Oh yeah,
a lot of times, but he always shows up in comments. So
man,
he does.
Fred's been pretty reliable too, I have to say. You know, he's been pretty. He's been, you know, man, short notice. It don't matter. Oh yeah, man, I'm free. I'll jump in. You know.
Man, it's not that Wes couldn't make it. It's that, man, we didn't want Wes on this show.
Fred's like, I got the buttons tonight.
I got it, boys.
How
you doing? Man, how you doing, Fred? Man, you recovered yet from bouncing around? I mean, me and Fred have been on the road for the last fucking 2 weeks. It feels like, you know.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks of nonstop, man. Starting at Houston, and then I came home Sunday after Houston and slept in my bed for I guess Monday night, and then up early Tuesday morning headed to San Antonio for that Ace show, and we were there for 3 days, I guess.
Yeah,
and then wheeled it on over to Austin, man. So yeah, trying to recover.
And Phil came down. He looked at the Ace show for about an hour, I think, and he was like, "Man, I'm out."
I'm out.
I was there for an hour and 52 minutes, which was just enough time to walk to my car because I was paying another $17 for 2 hours of parking. So, I'm out, boys. I've seen everything I need to see. You know, I just kind of assumed they were going to have beer at that thing. So I don't know how they had that kind of gathering without alcohol.
No alcohol.
Nah, but it was good to see everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it was a big show. That Ace show was big, you know, and it reminded me of days whenever, and I think Phil was probably the same when he was in electrical and I was in the oil field. They have these big conferences, and man, there's trade shows, there's toilets, man, they got everything there. Everything that Ace has, it's there, you know. So man, I had a whole row of plumbing, you know. So massive show. But man, it was good to be there. Good to meet a lot of people. You know, sprinkle our rub on some ribs, pass out some ribs, and shake hands and kiss babies. It was a good time for sure. So, man, hats off to Mark Lambert and guys from Boar's Night Out. They cooked all the ribs and made it easy for us, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's fast forward a few days. Y'all had the big weekend, huh?
Yeah, we're rodeo Austin, you know. I made a post about Houston, about sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, and man, I was definitely the nail at Houston, but man, we spun it around and, you know, turned into the hammer at Austin. So it was you know, 1 week makes a huge difference, you know. So
hammer him, you did, man. That was impressive, bro. That was freaking awesome.
Bill. Nice job squeaking it out.
What's that?
I said, what a nail biter. Nice job squeaking it out.
Well, and I knew after chicken too. I mean, both of you guys, I think I've probably told you when, you know, I went to pick up, you know, I got called for third place chicken, and I went up there and they're passing out the checks at the check table, and the girl was like, "Oh, we can't give you yours." And I'm like, "Man, everybody else is walking away with chicken money. You know, I see fifth place, fourth place, you know, they're all leaving with checks." And I'm like, "Man, what's wrong with mine?" She goes, "We got all your money on one check." And I went, "Man," she goes, "You're going to need to come back after awards." So I figured, you know, obviously, man, there's more money to come, more calls to come. Man, it's going to be a good day. And man, I didn't know if it was, obviously I didn't know it was grand, but man, I knew after brisket I was grand, you know. So
yeah. So did everybody else.
There ain't that much separation in the top three spots. I don't care how you cut it up.
Yeah, I knew after brisket and the party was over, I told my wife as we were walking up, I said, "We'll be back on Champions Row, babe. And man, we don't need to go cook with Stacy." Fred looked at me, he goes, "Stacy, I'm out."
Oh man, that was a hell of a win, Bill. Dominant performance, man. Big cook off. What they have, 240 somewhere in that range on team
I
wise.
think 220 something. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I talked to Stacy today. You know, for those that don't know, man, me and Anna both cooked with Stacy, and so Anna cooked a chicken, I cooked a chicken, and man, both chickens were equally as good at Houston. But man, I'd already had a first place chicken at Houston, and I told Anna, man, if our chickens are kind of split down the middle, we'll let you turn in your chicken. So she turned in her chicken and just got destroyed. And of course, us talking shit and just bullshit. Now, you guys left first place chicken on the cutting board, and been winding her up about chicken all week long. And man, I don't think the results could have been any better for her, for me. Well, man, they probably would have liked to win grand, but man, she got a second place chicken. So Houston Rodeo hated her chicken, and man, I got third, and she still beat me in chicken. So man, congrats to Anna to redeem herself from Houston, and man, I was able to get the GC, and even though my name was listed as the head cook at Houston, man, I got to redeem a little bit of myself to kind of clear it off my record or whatnot. So
Well,
I'll be back.
congratulations to y'all on a great weekend, to them two on the reserve and going 2-3 in chicken, right? After Houston. But to her defense, Bill, and she probably did get judged by somebody who, chicken just wasn't their thing at Houston.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it wasn't your fault at Houston. A lot of those judges don't even like barbecue. They're just there for the camaraderie and the beer.
And that's what the Chronicle said.
Fred, you had a nice walk. Would you have fourth rib? I'm going by memory.
Ninth rib. I just looked at the scores just today. Man, I won my chicken table for 38th.
Yeah, you need to do some fixing there. Little work to do.
Yeah, man, we need to work some.
I don't know if it's on your chicken or the tables, but something either way, right?
Yeah, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, got on the wrong table, right? But man, how many times has it happened where we've got on the right table and probably our barbecue wasn't that good that day? So it goes both ways, man. But it is what it is. 8th overall finish. Man, not a bad showing.
Did you cook Cook's Choice?
I did cook a Cook's Choice, man. That was pretty good, bro.
We don't want to know how you did. We just want to know what you cooked and exactly how you cooked it.
Man, it was half of it was cooked on a breeding smoker, believe it or not.
World championship. Man, I'm gonna stop cooking. I'm just gonna let everybody else rack up world championship. It's a lot less work.
Yeah. Bill had already done his beef rib, and I was like, man, is that thing still hot? He's like, yeah, throw some in there. Okay, so I threw some bacon wrapped shrimp in there, and I didn't want to light a pit. So I just lit my Weber for the steak. I did steak and shrimp, man. Surf and turf usually does well at contests. So man, threw it at them, and they loved it. Perfect score, 180 at 200. It looked like a KCBS box though. Nice. But man, it will $1,000. I'll take it.
Yeah, nice work. I think steak and shrimp got the first 17 spots there.
Probably.
If you're gonna cook an open, man, surf and turf. If you're gonna cook a dessert.
Man, I was gonna do beef ribs and shrimp, and I bought some poppers from HEB that were already wrapped. Man, I threw them on the pit, and then Fred put those that he had hand wrapped, and man, it looked like mine had been shot with a fucking baseball, and his looked like picture perfect wrapped. Like, man, how did you get these things pictured? Man, I ain't turning in my shrimp. Man, I'm embarrassed for anyone to eat them,
Yeah.
They do get a little flat in those packs. Did you tell me you didn't get the ones that were on sale because they're almost out of date, huh?
No, I got fresh ones.
Well, these are cheaper.
Yeah. They look like they've been hit with a shotgun after, I cooked them on a pan, and Fred had his all laid out on a rack, and man, they all looked exactly the same, and they all look picture perfect. So yeah, I was like, man, I'm just going to turn in that beef rib. Fuck these shrimp, So, But his shrimp, man, I think he could have just turned in the shrimp. They were so good. The cheese that he had, he's got some little special recipe stirred up inside that cheese. He's got some holdback on that cheese that he's got in
Oh
there.
shoot!
It was just,
Got the
I can't remember
holdback.
what that was.
Yeah, I don't remember what kind of
And
cheese
we
that was, man.
Man, I bought it 20 years ago. It's been
Yeah,
fermenting in my refrigerator. I don't know what kind
I,
of it
I
was.
found it in the freezer. I don't know
I
what it
can't
was.
remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Spill it all,
But
it don't
yeah.
hit, right? Hey, it was so good. I did this, and this.
Uh-huh.
It hits him. We'll lock
And
him up.
he was wandering around. He was outside. The Australians cooked right outside mine and Fred's camp. Me and Fred were, like in line with each other, and so I'm sure he had to, with KP being so close, I'm sure he had his own run-ins with KP over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
If he wasn't sleeping, he's helping Nate and he's zonked. I think there were some pictures floating around of him sleeping on the job. So
I know it all too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was impressive though because he had a beer in one hand, his phone in the other, and he was dead asleep.
Yeah,
and he didn't drop either one of them.
Man,
Right.
he goes to sleep just sitting up. I mean, he'll be sitting there 1 second, and then next thing you know, he sleeps real light like that because, man, I swear he hears every little noise, especially when you pull out your camera and go click. He pops right up every time. You got to put your phone on silent.
Yeah.
But man, circling
y'all
back
got some
to
footage we can see later.
man, I got some here, but circling back to, Fred winning his table, man, I didn't think my brisket was that good. I didn't really care for my brisket. And, and of course we're at dinner on, they don't do awards till Sunday and I'm hating my brisket. And Fred said, man, I guarantee it's going to walk. All we're going to hear is, and they started calling out most elaborate pit. And Fred looks at me because you're probably going to win this too. Get ready.
He didn't even enter the category. Man, he's probably still going to win
it. But yeah, I didn't necessarily care for the brisket, but man, there's obviously times where I've turned in food that I thought was great that didn't walk. And man, this weekend was one of those where, man, I liked the ribs and I felt like the chicken was good, but the brisket I wasn't really a big fan of. And man, somehow, some way it got in there. So
Yep.
It got across the line. We got any comments from the crowd here? KP is a knucklehead.
Yeah. KP is my homeboy, says Stacy.
Bubblegum burn-ins paid off. Yeah, they did. It was you kept chewing on my brisket. So here's KP's my homeboy. But yeah, man, enough about us. I mean, man, we got Josh and Reagan. These guys took down Houston Rodeo, which man, Fred, you also did. Man, you got second brisket there, didn't you? Yeah,
second brisket. Yep.
And you've walked brisket there a couple of times, huh?
Man, I've cooked Houston four times and walked brisket 3 times. 3 out of the 4. Yeah.
Wow.
So
wow.
It's been. I'm inching my way up to that first place.
Right. Well, nice. Man, let's bring in. I think we ought to bring in. Let's Phil. You want to go over your mid pack or you were upper middle mid pack? I don't know if you want to. Man, I know you're trying a bunch of new shit, but he said before, man, fuck this. I ain't trying any more new shit. I'm coming at it now this weekend with the money. Yeah.
Fucking, the development of different shit in the experimental phase is officially closed. We've been out on like a 6-month hiatus, so we're about to square back up and see what happens. So, and yeah, it was definitely upper middle pack if we want to dice it down. Yeah. I mean, 13th, we don't show up for that, but there was almost 70 teams. And man,
but I mean,
I actually thought that wasn't bad for not really caring for half my turn ins. And I'm like, man, it should have probably been worse, but anyway, I learned a lot and man, that's what I'm out there doing. I'm either winning or learning. So learning more than I'm winning, but man, they go hand in hand.
Right.
And I heard the karaoke contest was pretty damn good.
And I tell you what, it was tight field. I mean, we had a lot of good singers out there, a lot of good voices. And man, there was a lot of fuel for it. You know what I mean? So it was right out there.
A lot of liquid courage.
To say the least. It was a good time, man. Con-Can, right there on the Frio. And, man, we had some pretty awesome weather this weekend. So, man, it was a fun time. I'm kind of like you boys. Y'all did the Ace. Y'all did Houston. You did Austin. And, man, I was a week before y'all doing Minnesota. And then I went to Houston. And, so I was – man, I didn't have a free entry into Austin. I wasn't going to – I think it was E50 I heard. I'm like, you can pass on that one. Man, I wasn't mad at that. Austin's another kind of taxing one where you're there for 4 days or so. And, it's kind of like back to back to back. So, man, Con-Can was pretty relaxed, an hour from the house. We had a good time. So,
absolutely.
Looking forward to Barnyard this weekend. So,
yeah, I mean, Austin, you got to be ready for anything. We showed up Sunday morning to go to awards, and, man, they wouldn't let us pull our cars in. So, normally Austin on Sunday morning, and let's pull in, hook up, get ready, go to awards. But, man, this year they decided, no, it can't come in until after awards. So, man, you got to be ready to pivot with some of these bigger cook-offs and park your car, walk in, and go hook up after awards. But it all worked out. So, man, when I left there, I wasn't mad at any of it, so.
I bet not. I don't care where we got to walk to.
Yeah, man,
I'll carrying all these trophies and big checks. I mean, shit.
Good stuff. Did you ever find that other check, though?
Man, I don't think they made another check. I don't know if they didn't make. I mean, they made a check for third place brisket, and I think they had a big check for third place. I got a big check for second place rib, a big check for third place brisket, but, man, no big check for third place chicken. So at the end of the day, man, I wasn't mad about it. Tito's paid for our spot, man. I let them even have the GC trophy. Man, I've already got one, and man, it was the first GC that Tito's had.
That was a circle back.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal. I've already got one.
But to answer Carl's question, he's keeping a team list going. Yes, we're both. I think Fred's coming to Weatherford. I'm going to Weatherford.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Let's go.
If I can manage the 60-mile-an-hour winds on Friday, I'll get there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move in on Thursday, but Carl's keeping a team list. Carl, I'll be moving in on Thursday, so just so you know. But yeah,
Carl's also got the team map.
Yeah, he's got the team map. He's been.
Is he setting up spots? I need power. Carl, hook me up.
In fact, he volunteered to paint the spots. He's up there painting the spots right
now. There you go. Grant's coming Thursday too, Carl.
Grant's coming Thursday.
Paint him a spot as well, So,
yep.
Anyway, let's get this world champion or these world champions into the show so we can, man, chew a little fat with them. Let me get them. There we go.
What do you say, boy? Used to the mustache, and I'm afraid it's here to stay now.
Hell yeah!
I don't even recognize you, Josh.
So, man, bottom left we got Josh Hill with Sure Shot, and bottom right we got Reagan. Man, I don't know how to pronounce No Shoes. We'll just call him No Shoes with La
There you go. It works.
Brazier. None of the letters match up.
How do you pronounce it? Reagan?
You got it right. Brazier.
Brazier.
I don't even know if there's an R in there. So it don't make sense.
No, it's crazy German. Silent R.
Oh, is it German? Is that what it is?
Full German.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. So, well, cool. Well, welcome to, man, both of them are first timers on the Shiggin Fried with Chicken Fry. Hopefully the crowd won't abuse them too much and try to beat of course, Reagan will tell you everything.
Good for abuse.
Reagan will tell you it all. He may not tell us on the show, but if you're in his camper, first time I met Reagan, here's my chicken recipe. He went, and he just spit it all out to me. And I was like, holy shit, I can't remember all that,
Anything you want.
Man, would you mind repeating that now that I'm ready?
It's on the league.
Yeah, it's on the barbecue league. Sign up. Man, step by step, not just a recipe, but how to do it. These, man, I think half of KCBS country is running Reagan's legs or some variation of it. So
simplify that chicken.
There you go. So welcome, boys. Is it still? Are you still pinching? Are you still pinching yourself over Houston Rodeo, or what's
I
the
was
deal?
still rubbing the belt buckle every once in a while to make sure it's there.
Well, I happened to be standing next to you guys when they called it out, which was pretty cool. Because Josh is standing there next to me, and they called out for second chicken, which was tied for first. So Reagan's counting that as another world champion. Josh, I'm ready to load up the drums. We're probably going to get 11th, man. I'm ready to freaking spin it out of here. I'm gonna load up. I'm gonna load up, and I'm like, man, I'm right there with him, because I didn't get any calls at all, right? We didn't get any calls, and I'm right there with him, going, yeah, it's probably a go Texan team that GC'd. You got fucked, and man, next thing you know, they call him out, man. He just freezes and looks at me like he's looking at a ghost, and he's just staring at me, and I'm like, bro. Man, you got to get up there. You got to take some pictures, man. You got trophies. You need to go. So
Appreciate it, John.
It was super cool, But yeah, walk us through it. I mean, Josh, you and Stacy did the ribs and the brisket. Is that right? And Reagan did the chicken.
Yes, sir.
And how was that? I mean, was there each one of y'all just kind of somebody's checking the tires? Or somebody trying to
Wes
check
sitting
the
here,
tires.
so I was kind of checking these buttons. Sorry.
Man, the ghost of Wes is here.
Oh, hang on a second. We have a drink. We have are you boys drinking? Because John, man, he's $20. This is a drink. Appreciate you, John.
Man,
John's out of Alaska,
Thanks,
boy.
John.
He's an adamant watcher of the show. He's out of Alaska. Shout out to John. So I got to get a new drink. But man, talk about Houston. What was it like, boys?
Everybody leaves.
Josh, you might be muted, Josh.
Show,
It was a train wreck, obviously.
just another show like all of them.
Yeah. Are you there, Josh?
And cooking with
Got
Josh.
Yeah, I think he might be muted.
We got to do a mic check on Josh to see if it's working.
And cooking with Josh is always fun. I mean,
Hang on. Well, Josh's mic's not working, I don't think.
He don't have audio.
Joshy.
Can you hear us, Josh? Shake your head. Can you hear us?
Come on, Chef.
You can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Well, I don't know that he's talked yet.
He's trying to, but it's not working, I don't think. Uh-oh.
The sheriff gone wild.
We got to get the mic check figured out first.
And it might be the mustache getting in the way, interference or something. Maybe.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Maybe it's a super trooper effect.
There ain't no doubt at all. That is super troop out. We need some.
Are we getting T-shirts made, Super Trooper, Josh? I mean,
Super Trooper.
Some little tight shorts.
It's a little early, but I got a serious question, Josh. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Super Trooper.
New name for Josh is the sheriff.
All right. Well, you'll figure out that. I'm going to do a rake of refill, boys.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's see, Reagan. Why don't you talk about, man, just getting into Houston? How many times have you cooked Houston, Reagan?
That's my fifth and only time second time I've cooked it with Josh. Last year we were seventh. So nice to go back and be first.
So last year y'all were seventh in chicken?
Yeah, we had a second brisket, 100-something rib, and a 22nd chicken.
Okay.
Nice.
And this year we knocked it down to a second chicken, a 14th brisket, and 32nd rib, I think.
Wow.
GC.
But Josh is a guy I can cook with anywhere. We don't get in each other's way. We've been around each other enough in Blues Hog now that it just makes sense.
Yeah. Well, man, I heard you lit your chicken drum, put your chicken on, and walked away, and
Oh yeah, because Stacy was at that point where him and Josh were about to go at it, and I said, Stacy, you and I need to walk off. And we went over to Tim's tent for a little bit, and I knew my chicken. I knew my chicken was going to do his thing. I told it how to act.
You told it what to roll.
And those half chickens, you got to talk to them. If you don't, you're in big trouble.
Right.
And now when they talk back, that's when you got to be concerned.
There you go.
Man, shout out to Jay-Z. He was the one that sponsored me and Fred this weekend with Tito's for having us on the team Tito's, man.
Thank you, John.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, John. Appreciate it,
Cool being there, man.
Yeah, for sure. I guess Josh is still maybe trying to reconnect or whatnot. But what are you drinking there? What are you drinking there, Reagan?
Tequila always. I don't even know the brand because my eyes don't work that good without glasses.
Right.
But it's a good one. It's an extra añejo, and it sure tastes right. It's got an MF on the label, so I'm guessing motherfucker.
There you go.
What are you drinking? Motherfucking tequila. Thanks for asking.
Phil's already got it down. He knows the right shit.
And how many chickens did you cook, Reagan? Did you just cook 2 halves or what?
Just two. I always cut a chicken and save all the skin from the other half, and so I have a place to fold it and make sure I got tons. I don't like a spatchcock. I saw guys this year doing the weird shit, tagging 2 chickens together so they could get 4 halves.
Yeah.
And that's just that'd be hard to cook.
Yeah.
Not unless you're doing that every weekend, right? Like
Obviously
practicing it every
right,
weekend.
Reagan?
What's that?
Obviously didn't need it.
No, I knew which one we were going to turn in. The minute I pulled them off,
that was just to have a backup, just in case.
The minute I pulled them off, we had one that had pulled skin off the leg part a little bit, and I knew right away it was going in the trash pile. So we just only finished one.
And
for those that don't know, Reagan is the one that makes the Cock King trophies for the team of the year. So this year he made one which Smoking and Toasting got.
Very first one.
That was the first one for CBA. First year for CBA. And I think, did Rooters get it for KCBS or no?
They did. Second time Rooters has won it for KCBS.
How many years have you been doing that for KCBS, Reagan?
This would be the 7th time I've made a KCBS one.
That's very
7th
cool.
year. And the first one was all supposed to be Matt Walker. He was about to win his 3rd one. And the year before, I gave him a 2-headed mounted chicken at awards. How the hell do you beat a 2-headed mounted chicken? I put balls on one. And then when he didn't win it, Kelly Wirtz did from 4 legs up. So I started a Cock King. I was like, shit, we have a rib jacket. We got a buckle for brisket. Might as well have a fucking Cock King trophy.
Right.
Very inspirational. We now have the leg lamp. So
and I knew it had to be. I knew it had to go to CBA. I know enough of y'all guys, and I cook enough now that I figured you got to get it out there. See, Texas needs a Cock King.
Yeah.
And Phil, like I said, Phil started a brand new one for what was it, Phil, that you ended up making?
Yeah, for brisket. I was team of the year brisket, whatever year before, and then Robert Smith was this year. So I'm like, that's pretty cool what Reagan does on that chicken deal. And I talked to you about it, right? We called and talked. And I told you I had some ideas, and anyway, it ended up being a cow foot lamp is what it ended up coming with. But
it turned out cool.
Well, I know I was really hoping for something a little more gaudy, but but hey, it was my first year. Give me
every year it can advance. I promise you, my first Cock King was not what it looks like today. And then if y'all saw the trophy I made for Josh for being the up and coming dragon in barbecue, I put a little bit of everything on that one.
That's awesome. Yeah, shoot, yeah.
But his nuts didn't drag. They were whitetail balls. I had to switch over to buffalo balls. The first one I made had whitetail nuts, and Brad Leininger getting basted. He goes, I want one. I said, you got to earn it. And he goes, well, shit, next year I'm bringing the dragon out. I said, what's the dragon? He said, I'm going to drag my nuts all over you fuckers. So I had to put bigger balls. It went to buffalo balls. Oh, yeah.
I think we got you now, Josh. I think so. Reagan's just talking about your nuts right now. So
small,
maybe before Houston they were this, but after Houston they got like
small and tiny. Still trying to figure it out.
That sack got really tight.
Hey, what's up, Charlie? Congrats on the big RGC in Houston.
Yeah.
There's first place brisket. There's the one Fred's chasing. What up, Oler?
Yeah.
Let me ask you
we
this,
got-
Josh.
Steve-O.
Does it feel any different going into cook-offs knowing that you won Houston? Do you feel like people look at you a little different going to Austin? Did you feel any added pressure or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, they look at him different. Have you seen his mustache?
Yeah. You want to talk about different, Mr. Bill? Right here. Now that I'm actually not muted, first and foremost, thanks for the clinic at Austin. That was phenomenal.
No shit.
Laid it on heavy.
Yep.
But personal, yes sir, yeah. Going into Austin, there's a bunch of people like, oh, you did this, you did that. Look, let's be crystal clear, people. Last weekend we were GC. There's a good chance this weekend we are dead last. I mean, it can happen. you know,
Take them when you
The
get
game
them.
we play.
Take them when you get them.
it is. And even Fred, I think Mr. Fred said it Saturday night when he ran into Reagan and me and Stacy and I don't think he really understands what just happened. Hatcher was saying it. No, no clue. We actually just accomplished that. Not that we're not, my wife and I, we're good enough. You put my wife and I together with Barefoot, come on.
Yeah.
Appreciate
We-
it, Shane and Lacey.
It's a dangerous day.
It has the potential to be a dangerous day for sure. But yeah, I still don't really grasp, bucket list.
Now
For
that you
sure,
got
but-
your audio going, Josh, Reagan took it down from the top on the chicken, and man, you want to take it down from the top on the ribs and the brisket? Man, the crowd's ready. Just if you want to start at the top of exactly what you did.
Reagan's I think there might have been a morning post of me sitting there chillaxing, eating some good old jalapeno chips.
Those were sour cream and onion. They were sour cream and onion.
They were
Oh.
phenomenal, and I was enjoying my
I pay
morning.
attention. I pay attention to those pregame vibes. You know what I mean? And
it
now I
was
carry
great.
around sour cream and onion chips.
And anybody that knows Reagan, Barefoot, man, he shows up, he gets his stuff done. Stacy, she gets there and she kind of does what she normally does in the morning. And then all of a sudden it's like, you don't have enough vibes. There's not enough going on. I'm like, look, everything's going smooth, babe. All right, let's just not rock the boat. We're okay. Typical Reagan, Reagan's like, man, I'm just doing my thing. And hey, Reagan,
Mhm.
what time do you want to start your chicken? I want to do it about this. I want to start the fire this time. Me, everybody that knows me, I'm pretty OCD about certain things. I feel like I've gotten better learning from some people, maybe not to be so serious, but still serious. We get going and we're doing our thing, and then all of a sudden, the time that Reagan says he wants to start, well, guess what? Reagan's over there doing something else. Stacy's kind of on me, and I'm, hey, Reagan, didn't you want to start your fire? Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get that started real quick. All right,
Oh yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
Hey, first we're gonna do a shot.
I'm like, all right, hey, look, man, I'm already on it. I got it going. And then,
Man, I had a little cushion in there. Like,
all right, so we get to go and everything's fine. And then we're going to put it on. And Stacy, she's still excited. And I'm like, hey, everything's okay. We're good. We're good. And then finally, I look at Reagan. I look at her. I said, look, I need you to go somewhere and walk because everything's fine. Reagan's got chicken under control. Now they got a fire going. He's on his timelines. Reagan, all right, well, I guess it's about time to throw them on. He just slings them on. Finds like, Reagan, take her. Y'all go walk somewhere, do something because there's nothing else we could do. It's only 3 meats. I mean, it's going as smooth as it can. And so, like, you just want us to leave? Yes, absolutely. And they disappeared. And Reagan didn't even bat an eye. He didn't bat an eye. I was like, okay, well, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out.
Yeah, of course it worked out. It worked out. But then, 20, 30 minutes go by, and I'm like, man, this is chicken. We ought to be paying attention to this.
I told it what to do.
I forgot they're all gone. They They're gone. And I'm like, well, I'll be dang.
They're eating
Not
crab
everybody
cakes
would go
over.
walk in.
They're eating crab cakes over at Blues Hog. Yeah.
Yes, they were. And I'm like, man, I wonder if I should adjust this. And I look over at the can. And I'm like, I mean, he normally runs about needle up. And I'm like, man, it's starting to get below. Look around. There ain't nobody around. I'm like, well, I wonder what Reagan would do. It's like, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'll just crank her open a little bit and let her get back up. And Reagan just shows back up, literally finally shows back up. He pops the lid, looks, it's good to go. And I was like, holy Jesus. We're at Houston Rodeo. So many people are so amped up. Me, one of those. I mean, are we good? He goes, oh, yeah, it looks good. We're going to sit over here. We're good. We're fine. I'm like, man, I don't think you understand. This thing was way below. Now we cranked her back up. Hope I didn't screw you or anything on your timeline. He never batted an eye. He just kept on trucking, did his thing, and then, oh, yep, it's good. Keeps on going.
She knew what she was supposed to do.
Yeah. Ribs and brisket, we thought we had a good day.
Ribs were better than 32nd, though.
I thought so, but hey, it is what it is.
Are we really out there wishing we had done better?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
There ain't no tears
If you
falling,
don't,
boys. I'm
if you
sorry.
don't, you ain't wishing nothing.
I know, man. I wish my rib would have got first this weekend at Austin, man. Second, I was a little disappointed. You know,
You should have got 1-1-1, done a hat trick.
right?
I mean,
Yep.
everybody that knows me, especially y'all on the top three there. I mean, Barefoot obviously knows. Yes, absolutely. I wish I'd have done better. I literally we get done. Reagan's chicken was everybody knows Reagan. He just does his thing. He pulls them two birds out, and we're looking, and that one, like you said, it did kind of pull, but man, it looked good. It wasn't bad for Reagan. I was like, man, that the half bird, Johnny on the spot. The other one looked a little bit better, and I was like, all right, if we're gonna go off looks, sure, Reagan, let's do that. Stacy agreed.
And it
I
tipped
mean,
better.
the
Put it
ribs
in the
and brisket.
box.
Josh, you're looking at it wrong, bro. So I cook next to Grant Pinkerton at the rodeo, and you got to look at just for perspective. And last year, Bill hit first place chicken, Grant hit second place chicken, and he hit 14th place brisket. And I was talking to him this year, and he goes, "Man, I needed 78th rib to GC the contest." And he said my ribs were, man, don't get me 120, 130, 140, somewhere in there. He said, I've not been outside the top 60 in ribs since I've been cooking Houston. So you're looking at that 32nd rib going, man, they should have been better. Man, there was, I don't know, 217 teams that you beat in ribs, right? And I don't know if y'all have done the math. I don't know what it was, right? But you did what you did what you needed to do. So you can't look at, I mean, that's just how I look at things, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's a cumulative score, and it would have been much easier to go backwards than it would have gone to go forward towards the first place rib. And I'm just saying. So don't beat yourself up, man. I mean,
Hell no.
You guys put it together and did what you needed to accomplish to win that cook-off. So.
And we did. At the end of the day, you get that GC, and I respect that. It's just all y'all know me. I'm one of those people. I just, even on a good day, I'm still trying to pick some things apart of what I could have done better. And then,
that's
Bill,
what we do.
What Bill was saying earlier, he goes, he calls me. I think Bill calls me on like Tuesday or something, or Monday or Tuesday. He goes, bro, I sure wish I was filming you, but you literally were like so adamant. There's no way it's us. There's no way us. And I'm like, man, I'm a big person on cumulative score, but I'm like, man, Reagan got that second place chicken. I felt bad. I thought I screwed him over. Bill's like, you were so confident, like, bro, it's not us. It's not us. I was like, it's definitely not us. It's not.
It was you guys.
Because you wait for those guys.
The week ahead of time, it was.
You wait for those people to drive around, and you get them banners, and all of a sudden they show up and they roll out one, and you're like, all right, well, there's this chicken. Come on, here comes another one for ribs. Nope. So we only got one. Yep. And they drive off. oh no. And you know,
Man, when you
trying to be a
least
perfectionist.
wonder if
expect it, those are awesome. I mean, man,
Yeah.
when you don't know it's coming, like you went in Houston, I was there next to you. Man, you didn't think it was gonna be you, and man, it just comes like a shockwave. And it's just so,
Yeah.
it's so awesome.
Bill's not
I
lying.
love
He
that
goes,
about, barbecue. I love that about, when you don't know what's gonna happen. Man, it's the best part,
Unlike when
Bill's like,
unlike when you go to get your chicken check at Austin.
Yes. Man,
Yeah, and then you
I
find out you
purpose
granted it right away because they tell you, shit, we got more for you, buddy.
and I purposely did not go by there on ribs. Like when I got my rib trophy, man, I didn't want to stop at the pay table and have them go, "Oh, here you go. We can give
And
it to
no,
you
that was
now."
the only check you were getting?
Yeah.
Just
So,
two?
man,
You,
I
you
just
wanted all
freaking kept
four?
on walking. I kept on. I didn't even look at them on ribs to know, but if I was going to get a brisket call or not. So,
my wife and Reagan were they were so excited, which of course I am too. Everybody knows me at awards. I want to be in the back and I do my thing. And Bill, I was standing there by you, and man, they get the chicken call, and I'm so excited. And of course, that natural big old rock in the gut. I'm like, man, did we just screw him over? Was it Reagan's day? And then we just shafted on the ribs and brisket.
Mm.
And I'm sitting there looking at Bill, and I was like, yeah, it ain't us, man. There's no freaking way. I mean, it's just I thought they were good, but I don't know. It is. It's one of those ones. I'm not. I'm so freaking
Caesar, we
excited. I don't
talked
even
about
understand
this.
it.
Shit, the year before with a probably 70th or 60th rib we would have wanted as well, but the guy wouldn't let us finish them. Josh put them in the box, and he wouldn't let them pull them back out to finish them or hit them with finish dust.
Thanks, Michael.
man, I was in the same boat 2 years ago at Houston when I got the first chicken. I think I had like a 18th rib and an 890 or something brisket. And if I would have had 60th place brisket, I would have GC'd. But man, it is what
It's
it
a
is.
game. It's a game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we all play it for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's the
Sometimes it
coolest
goes
thing.
your way. Sometimes it doesn't. That's just the way it goes.
And I've
Josh, I looked up
always
your results. So you needed a 61 rib or better, and you were 32nd, so you had plenty of cushion.
It was the mustache anyways.
Well
The
within the
mustache
comfort zone.
the mustache had us covered anyways.
Yeah.
It's
on
You were
not a
everybody.
covered by the
mustache,
stash.
Reagan. It's a. Hold on. Let's go back. It's in the comments.
I've always stood on that whole cumulative score, and I love it. And anybody that asks me, I always stand by. Hey, man, ma'am or girl, I don't feel like I'm good enough to be teaching somebody, but don't miss big. Just that middle of the road. Just don't
It's a windscreen.
just you know.
We got Toasty in the comments waiting on a
Oh,
recipe. $1.99 in the comments, waiting on a recipe, Josh.
Oh
There
shit.
ain't you don't want no recipes over here. The only thing I'll do, I'll lead you to the dark side of what not to do.
obviously the dark side ain't so bad.
It has its moments.
It has its moments.
Is that where the mustache comes from? The dark side?
The mustache comes from just being unsupervised and accidentally getting a little too deep, getting a little too deep in the beard when
Damn right.
one of the kids was homesick right before Houston, and the wife was at work, and I was here, and I was like, I was doing this, getting ready for Houston, and I went to kind of trim up some stuff, and all of a sudden I was like, bzz, oh dang! So I just went and shaved it, and of course I've told everybody the same story. I was like, oh, well, look at this. Here's a beard.
I
So
was
I
a
just
little
left
worried
it.
at first, but goddamn, I've gotten used to it, and I hope it doesn't go away.
Oh look, there's a new sheriff in town.
Well, the funny thing is, my teammate,
Hit
my
this
best
thing,
friend,
not-
my wife, my soulmate, never once says anything that she doesn't like. Everything's like, well, it's okay. We pull up to Houston the first night, and we're kind of visiting, doing everything. Immediately, everybody starts
She threw him under
bullying
the
and making.
bus.
Oh, she never once said that she didn't like it. Everybody's making fun of it, and she's just laughing. Oh, look at the sheriff. Oh, 80s porn star and all this. And I'm like, babe, you're supposed to stand up for me and all this. And she just keeps giggling. I'm telling like, look, all you people, I'm going to take my brisket, my electric knife. I'm going to shave this off tonight. Y'all won't see me.
It does kind of have that YMCA look to it, you know. So
Man, the joke's on us,
Definitely,
Josh.
definitely
You
1978
can wear your
porn star.
stash however you want. Hey, she said, "You do you, bro."
You
Thanks.
do you.
Thanks.
Just remind them, Josh. Just
Casey, you
remind them.
can't tell me at some point in the past few weeks you ain't looked at Josh. I didn't know who he was for a second.
You and
He's
I
got his
both.
same thing. I know it.
That's exactly what Phil did the first night of like Houston, or yeah, first night. Phil, Carmen, and Reed are walking by, and I see Reed, my barbecue son. I'm like, "Hey, boy,
My
what are you doing?
barbecue's
Come
done.
over here." All of a sudden,
He got-
Phil and Carmen, they both look at me like all of a sudden the police and the sheriff's about to show up.
Who's
I'm like,
this guy?
no, it's just me. It's Josh. Phil's like, I legit did walk up and I saw barefoot and I looked at you. I'm like, who's this guy? And I'm like, Dad, man.
I did. Man, I didn't
It's so
recognize you
sad.
tonight when you got on the screen. I'm like, shit, I forgot. I ain't seen you a couple of weeks, and I'm like, shit, it ain't registering yet.
It's growing on me.
but I guess, man, after the Houston win, you ain't cutting that bitch off, huh?
Hey,
You
ain't
gonna roll
allowed.
that thunder.
For a
I
while.
don't know. After Austin, we only got about another week or two and it's gone.
Oh, you're
Next,
you're
come
so in
Memphis.
the moment.
Come Memphis.
God, man, fuck this, man. We gotta
Oh.
make a change.
Okay. Austin.
Come Memphis. Come Memphis. It better be back.
All of y'all know me,
Man.
man. I mean, Saturday night in
I think
Austin,
Reagan should have a stash come Memphis also.
I might. I might
Man,
draw
rocking
it
both
all.
of y'all rocking the stashes, bro, for Memphis.
I might have to.
Papa Smurf.
Saturday night, I walked over to Bill and I was like, "Hey, how was it, Bill?"
I'll paint myself blue.
Bill's like, "Man,
I'll even take mushrooms.
Man, I see you right now. You're blue.
I'll take the mushrooms too.
Bill was sitting there saying, he had a pretty solid day. Didn't really like his chicken, which, guess what? Here we go. Obviously, his chicken was really good." He's like, "Hey, I mean, what do you think, Josh?" And I'm like, "Man, everybody's been asking, like, oh, you're gonna repeat, you're gonna do all this," and tried to put that out of the head. And that whole Saturday night, no awards, and then wait until Sunday morning. That's about the pure misery for anybody that is competitive. That's about the worst thing you could physically go through is just sitting there. Oh, go enjoy your night. Okay,
Man, I
look, I
talked
didn't
about
come.
it in depth with Bill.
Yeah.
He didn't mind.
Sunday
Well,
awards
yeah,
are just
Bill should.
ridiculous.
I
But
thought it was perfect.
I straight up told Bill, I was like, "Man, sir, look, if the barbecue gods deem it, I I really thought we nailed. I mean, solid day." "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yes, sir. I mean, I don't. Y'all know I don't say that very often." I was like, "That was a good day. I mean, that was good." Guess what? Go to bed, wake up. They said no, thank you, no, thank you. But
He did
I
tell
mean, the
me he loved
wife.
his cook, and I'm bitching about mine to him. And he's this before awards, I'm bitching about mine, and he's loving his. And I'll probably get fucked. And sure enough,
And that's the first
Uh,
time I've ever sat there and I've legit across the board. I'm like, man, that was good. That was a
Wouldn't
great
change your thing.
wow. That was dang. But the
Run
only
it
thing
at
I
him
can
again.
muster up,
Top threes.
the wife, she knocked it. I think she knocked it out of the park with a fifth. I think she ended up with fifth chef's choice out of 100,
oh,
98,
nice, nice,
99.
nice. Yeah, hell yeah.
So that's the best thing we could do, which what Phil was saying earlier. Steak and some good old seafood. That's what wins there.
That's it.
I think Fred could have won it with just his shrimp. I didn't obviously try a steak, but his shrimp were they were out of this world.
Man, you
Well, it's
often
all about
wonder, like,
that cheese.
what did the judges try, right? They might all just eaten shrimp. Who knows?
Yeah, they may have.
And the cheese he will not disclose is always a good part of it.
Man, I forget.
Here we go. Here we go. Man, well, I can't remember. You
I
gotta
can't
help me out a
remember.
little bit, Fred.
Pretty sure it was Asiago.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think
something
I
like
got
that.
it at HEB. I'm not really sure.
Bullshit. You know it was Dollar General.
It's cream cheese.
It was
No,
fucking
that'd
shit.
be Kit Polk.
Man, I
Yeah.
found this up on the way from the valley. I just found this cheese right here. This
Yeah.
is good stuff.
She was
Let's
on
try
the
this one
road.
out. See what it does.
Oh, I've got some video of Kid. I don't know if I can load it in here. Let's see. I'll
It
try to
probably shouldn't.
It watching
some-
him on. I walked over there a few times, talking with Bill, Bobby,
Yeah.
Fred. I mean, Kit's just over there doing this thing. Like,
That's a dangerous cook.
I'm just here doing beans and just helping out and all this. I'm like, so you're not actually cooking? Well, I mean, I'm helping out, but I'm just here to knock out some beans. And he old Kit, he was in full form. That's for sure. He was doing his thing.
For a white boy, he cooks one of the best carnes I've ever eaten.
He does, man. I've had it before. It's pretty good.
It is pretty delicious.
Let's see if I can find. I'm going to look for this Kit.
Heirloom bird? Did you cook an heirloom bird, Reagan?
What's that?
Stacy saying you cooked an heirloom bird?
No, I HEB all naturals.
Okay.
I'm always I brought some of those heirloom birds, but Bill warned me against them, and I wasn't planning on cooking it, but I had a bunch of them.
What size
Yeah.
was that bird, Reagan? The ones you brought?
Everything.
It was 432, but after trimmed down, probably 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues
And
getting it in the box?
oh yeah, it had one leg that wanted to bump, but Stacy squeezed it in there.
Yeah.
But I always run either HEB All Naturals or the Central Market air chilled.
Yeah.
This weekend I got 2 that are 420 birds from the the Central Market All Natural.
No, you didn't. No, you
420, both sitting on top of the
Uh-oh.
fucking pile. 420.
Wow.
That's
I mean,
unicorns, baby. That's
That was like, goddamn, we better watch out. 50 grand.
We're
boy.
gonna hear up in smoke or what? We're gonna hear up in smoke for first place.
I sure hope so.
Not one, but two.
What's that?
Not one, but two.
No, 2 birds, both fucking 4.20.
There's no way, man. I
Never see that. I found 1 or 2 in the past. I always look for them. I found 2 in the same fucking day.
You should save them for Houston for next year. The winter.
I don't know I'm not sure if chicken freeze very well. And chicken box,
Hey,
you
there's
really
one way
need
to find
a
out. There's one way to find
3-pound bird.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you really need a 3-pound bird to fit that Houston box.
Yeah, 3.5. Will fit.
And that's why I bought a bunch of those heirlooms. There were a bunch that were anywhere from 3 to 3.7. And Tim didn't use them either, but we had a bunch of them to play around with.
Yeah, they're a little different, man. The flavor on those guys is a little different.
I've done well at one contest with them.
To stay away. In fact, I checked them on the stock market. Their stocks, they went down about 30% after Bill said don't cook those heirlooms.
After the year before, he screwed everyone on Champro.
Pretty much.
Well, shit, we'll see you up there in Houston next year on Champro.
Still in the heirlooms, Reagan. Knowing Reagan doing his own thing. Bill.
That's right. Both of y'all will be on Champion Grill, huh?
Man, so far, me, Josh, and Eddie. You know, Eddie from San Antonio.
Still a few spots left, huh?
Yeah, a couple spots left.
So we got to go win the Royal.
Yeah, we'll leave them open for you. We'll leave them open for you, boys. You know,
we'll be at the Jack. We'll be at the Jack to win it. Take that spot. We got an auto into the Jack from Houston, so we might just steal that spot so it's closed.
There you go.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill told me. Reagan gives me a shot. He goes, man, I got these awesome birds, all this size. It's perfect. I'm like, yeah, Reagan. All right, what size? Boom. And I'm like, heck yeah. He goes, they're the heirloom. And then he goes, but I got a couple HEB naturals. And Bill was the
I
one that
had
goes, look, I remember you saying Reagan's got some of the heirlooms, but don't let him cook them. I'm like, man, Bill, Reagan Barefoot does his own thing, and Stacy and I are like, man, I mean, Reagan does his own thing. He wants to cook the heirlooms. I'm gonna let the man cook the heirlooms.
I
And
had 9 or 10 birds. I knew what I was going to cook.
Bill and I forget who else it was. Somebody they're like, do not let him cook those heirlooms. Like it won't, it don't work. It ain't right. It's
Bill
like,
says you're
dang.
welcome.
You're welcome.
We're talking to Reagan, and somebody else said something. I think, Reagan, look,
I kind of wish
I
I
don't care
cooked
no
them.
matter what. Hey, I love you to death. You do what you want to do. It is what it is. I support you. But
Man,
I'm gonna tell
Reagan,
you
if
right
you'd have
now.
cooked that heirloom, you probably would have won the tiebreaker.
I know I would.
There were so many people. It's like, Reagan, there's a lot of
Would have
people.
turned the whole
Don't
world upside
cook it.
down.
Don't cook it. And Reagan's like, really? It's like, man, look, you walk over there face to face with Bill. I forget who else says that. Walk over there and ask them. They're saying, do not do it. Keep the
God,
HEB
man.
naturals that you like. Run them. Really?
That's
Okay.
it. Hey Josh,
He did.
what are you running on brisket nowadays?
That
What
was a
brand?
snake.
Salt and pepper.
What brand? What brand of briskets?
Uh,
Wagyu, the Marble Ridge, Snake Rivers.
generally for us, what we have gotten very comfortable with is Marble Ridge, sir. But I will, or we will. I mean, snakes. I love snakes. I don't have a problem with snakes. We've
They
kind
win
of
just
we've
as well.
yeah. I mean, we've cooked just about everything, but um, man, if we can get the Marble Ridges and they're the right thickness, I feel probably about the way you
Anna,
do,
we don't
Mister
want to know
Brad,
what you cooked in Houston. We want to know what you cooked in Austin.
middling meat brisket. If I get a
Yeah,
good Marble Ridge one, I mean, long as I don't personally screw it up, I feel pretty confident in them.
solid. Yeah, absolutely.
But um, they're also I don't want to say smaller, but they're trying to get the production up more. So
Right.
it has been it's been
Difficult
a
to
little bit
get.
of yes, it's been a struggle, difficult to get consistently, but we always fall back to them dang them snakes that just don't they don't miss. They do
Yeah.
their thing. Um,
Yes, sir.
but generally, if you were to ask me, I mean, I'm gonna go right here with the good old
Marble
Marble
Ridge.
Ridge, and it's
Yeah.
just my thing.
Y'all have a rib preference or not? Brand wise?
Naturals.
HEB natural?
HB Natural, or if we could consistently get IBP or HB Naturals,
Yeah.
I mean that's my preference for dang sure.
There you go.
But we can't always our HBs always obviously have HB Naturals, but the IBPs it can be hit or miss from week to week.
In and out a
So
Yeah.
lot.
we try to stay very when they got them, we're digging and we're searching, obviously trimming and vacuum sealing, but IBP just I don't know something about those ribs. They got some good flavor to them naturally already.
Yeah.
This
I
week
know
at
some of those.
HEB, I found a bunch of unmarked ones that were all vacuum sealed by them, and they were awesome ribs. I was like, shit, I'm going with these.
Yeah. I know HEB naturals sometimes are IBPs and sometimes they're Swifts. I think they get private labeled for HEB. So it depends. I guess what they're getting at that time, but sometimes they do change. So the major packers pack for HEB. So sometimes they have man. Sometimes it could be Seaboard. Sometimes it could be Smithfield. Sometimes it could be Swift or
That makes
IBPs,
sense.
depending on the time of year.
Yes,
They
and
So
sell
we've
so
we've
much
kind
at
of noticed that.
HEB.
We've paid attention. Stacy and I have we've actually gone in there and our local one. We are very fortunate within our where we live.
5.
25 minutes. We could probably go within 8 HBs. Very fortunate. But our local one, we've gone and talked to them and everything, and we've seen them bring out cases. And you go from, ooh, I don't want this Swift rib, and all of a sudden they bring you out a case of HB Naturals, and guess what? It's
That's
coming out of
good.
the Swift case. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So, I mean,
Mhm.
anymore, if I was to tell anybody, don't worry about the labeling. Look at
Go
the
by the
quality of the
color.
meat.
Go by the
Yes.
color and go by the if it's got fatty in it.
Look at the quality of the meat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's a hard pill to
Stridation of
swallow.
fat.
There's so many people, oh, Swift, that's just junk. Well, I'm not going to argue with you. That's low end, but HB sits over here and puts their brand on it. They're natural, and it's
Junk
coming from
wins.
Swift Farms. So if the
Mhm.
quality's there, use it.
Absolutely.
Man, I've got a
Absolutely.
clip. I got a clip from this weekend, boys. Let's just play the clip. It's a
Old clip hole.
KP special. KP is helping the Australians, and man, he's hard at
Trouble
work.
afoot.
Yeah, let's go. KP, you on drum duty?
Woke up too early.
Yeah.
On the afternoon now.
Let them run.
Yeah.
You got him lined out?
Yeah. It's coaching
It's hard work. It's hard work.
It is. Someone's got to coach.
Yeah, someone's got to coach him. It's hard work.
Little talk Texan.
Yeah.
Those were some 1980s lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Did he have his surfboard with him too?
No, they wouldn't let him bring it in.
He was dreaming. He was dreaming about it.
Yeah, probably.
No wonder he didn't win.
Yeah, he's watching the drums for him.
I saw him watching.
He does that when he helps Phil in the class.
Looked more like sleeping.
He's on it.
Man, Nate actually had pretty good help because, man, y'all knew where he was. I mean, you didn't have to go locate him. That's pretty good. It's hard to track down sometimes.
Phil had him at Houston part-time.
Part-time.
We were in Houston for 5 days. I saw Kit added together a maximum of 1. Maximum.
Yeah.
That's being generous.
I don't know how he was ever a food safety person. I dirtiest pit I've ever seen.
Oh man, Austin's doing the food inspection, the health club.
The health inspection.
And they
Yeah.
told everybody in our camp you need a 3-bay, at least 3 tubs out there. And Kit's like, I got it. I got some tubs, and he's got these 3 tubs, and we're like, we're gonna get shut down if we use your tubs. And they were kind of dated, they looked like that lawn chair. They had a lot of miles on them.
I
Oh,
guarantee.
You can't wash dishes in those tubs, Kit. But he saved us because we had the 3 tubs out there, and the girl comes back and says, man, you need a hand cleaning station. I said, man, I got a sink in my trailer. No, you're handling food out here. You need one out here. And Kit happened to have one of those coaches, those orange. I mean, man, he's not even cooking, but he's dragging
It
shit into the
appeared.
cook-off. He's got an orange Coach cooler with the spout on the bottom. And
Yep.
no, we'll use that over there. Okay, that'll work. And and man, we put that thing on the table next to the 3 tubs. I mean, he had everything
Save the
with him
day.
ready to go.
He knows
Well,
how to work
usually-
around the rules.
He usually has 6 pits running and cooks on one.
Yeah, he was prepared. So he saved the day for both of our camps.
We were not prepared when they came. We didn't have a little tag thing that they want posted out there. Stacy and I were just sitting out there Saturday morning, and we're doing our thing, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Here comes this lady and somebody else." I'm like, "What are they doing?" And they start checking all that, and I'm like, "Oh crap! They need that. They need that whole deal, posted out here." And I'm like, "Hey, babe, where is it?" She goes, "I don't know." And I was like, "Oh no." We're already, we're mid-morning cooking, and I'm like, "Oh well, this could get really rough really quick." I'm like, "Well, it's got to be in there with all of our stuff." She goes, "We don't have any stuff." And I was like, "Okay, well, it's got to be just sitting in there by boxes then." I start digging. No, I guess I had lost it Friday night. Did It was behind the counter with some wood chips. I was like, give me a piece of tape. And I'm trying to sling it up on the window. Lady just walks up. And of course, she's laughing. I was like, I'm pretty sure, man, we're pretty good. But look, we're trying to give A for effort. We're trying to be good. And she said, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm not serving the public, minus the judges in there. I was like, there's no public here. Well, you got this and this. And I'm like,
Man, you should have just told her I'm the new sheriff in town.
I think that's what he had. I think that's what he had to close with.
and
He had everything else first.
I was not trying to make enemies that early in the morning. So I was like, hey, man, do you, 'cause in the past, when I think this is our third year or fourth, I've always just had a Cambro with ice and everything sitting in there. Well, now with this trailer, I got a fridge, and I'm like, all right, I can slide everything. She goes, all right, so where's everything? I was like, look, man, I got a full-size fridge right here. And then I say, leave me alone, look, everything's right here. Every other time you're like, oh, you got this Cambro. Well, that's not safe. And I'm like, ma'am, there is thousands of people that do this every weekend across the country in Cambros.
Right.
Yep.
But she was really nice.
it was
enjoyable. Sir?
They were giving y'all shit about having meat in the Cambro with ice?
Back in the couple other times, they're like, oh, well, that doesn't seem right. I'm like, well, it's a cooler. It's the same as being in the cooler.
6 hours.
Exactly. And that's and then it was like, oh, we're good. Okay, fine. And then the first thing I guess she's heard from her protege or whatever, but where's your Cambro? And I'm like, ma'am, I don't have a Cambro right now. My Cambro's set for when my meat's warm. I have a full-size fridge sitting right here. Everything is cold, chilled to temp. We're good to go. And she literally goes, all right, you're good. She goes, what about your sink? And I was like, open this door. There you go.
Three of them.
Do you have a 3-bay sink in there, Josh, or no?
No, sir.
He did on Saturday.
But she didn't. She didn't ask about that. She just asked if you had sink with running water, and I was like, "Yes, ma'am, absolutely." She opened the door. It's like right there, running water. You can go check it. Hot water, whatever you need. It's like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, Austin is one of the few cities I think all year long that does a health inspection.
Fred had to tell him, excuse me, I got to turn in chicken. You got to move.
Man, she was just, I
remember the first
30
year of
seconds
CBA.
from escorting Fred off the grounds.
I remember the first year they were trying to tell him they were going to DQ him.
It's true story, man. I had to tell the girl, look, I got to turn in chicken. Get out of the way. She was standing at my door. I was like, man, I got to turn this chicken in. We'll talk after I come back.
And I'm the president of CBA. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get disqualified.
Well, man, that was like us. That's like our first.
He didn't tell him that, but that's the way it worked out.
maybe second year cooking Austin, and it's CBA, and I'm like, we start catching wind of this, and I'm like, there ain't no way these people are they're going to DQ. There ain't no way they're going to DQ the president. Mr. President, he'll lay the law down. Like, there's no way Mr. President's going to get, No, they were literally like, he's not going to get to turn in because of this. I'm like, oh, wow.
Bullshit.
Yeah. This will be rough. It's Travis County.
Austin needs to let sanctioning bodies run the comp part of it.
Yeah. Austin's its own animal,
And
that's for sure.
Austin has a hard time giving up anything, but when you take a sanctioning body on, you need to let them be the sanctioning body for the cook-off.
Man, I guess.
Man, I kind of like the way they do it at Austin myself.
You stole my words, Bill.
Yeah, because Fred could get thrown out.
Yeah, I know, man. Get rid of some of these unsanitized teams, If you want me to give you a list of the ones I think are questionable, I will.
But they okay, Kit Polk.
It's going to be one heavy list of teams that need to disappear for being dirty.
Oh, yeah.
And I could give them. Let's just go to CBA's top 10.
I mean, Austin, to me, the only thing I think they could do.
Or last 10.
You could still set rules and say, hey, nobody can leave Saturday. But for a competition cook, that's about the most miserable Saturday night on the face of the earth. For me personally, it is.
Yeah, Sunday awards need to change.
I don't mind. I'm going to be up early Sunday no matter where I am or what I'm doing. But going to bed, not knowing the results of not knowing what's happening, oh, that's rough. I mean, hey, we're going to go enjoy tonight. Maybe you're going to enjoy tonight, but I'm probably not going to enjoy it at all because all I can think about is what's about to happen Sunday morning.
Yeah, I think the thing with Austin is they have all these tents, having all these people come, and that's their fundraiser. Saturday night is a
It's all
fundraiser.
about the
Yeah.
who got top fundraiser.
Right. So they're all trying to make money on Saturday night, and I think that's why they do Sunday morning awards.
Yeah, I get it.
Man,
But
tell
the
Yeah,
us,
but I
barbecue
agree with
part,
Josh, man. I
Fred,
wish
tell
they
us-
were Saturday.
Sorry, Fred, tell us this. Man, so that's a lot. Obviously contests has happened. You guys got results. Man, how many people are privy to that? And man, how do y'all keep it under wraps? That's got to be a lot of weight to carry, in a sense, right?
Yeah, so our event rep is really the one who knows. And from what I understand, this year and previous years, they kind of disappear that night just to
Just
Be
to
hard
not
keep
not
it
cause
under wraps.
vibes or anything. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
probably a good move.
Yeah.
I will
So
say this: that man, I cook a lot of CBA events, and man, I don't see many tells at any time because man, Bill talking about the combining checks and this that would have irked my ass. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it; it worked out good, but man, that's
Yeah.
part of it for me. Like, we go to awards, and you don't know what's going to happen, and then
Right.
man, that's what you're there to find out. So, man, I don't want a spoiler alert. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hey,
and that
don't-
was this year. This year at Austin was, I think that's the first time they hand out checks at the actual award
Yeah,
ceremony. Usually,
you-
You got to
you
go to the
go and
bank.
tell them like, "Man, I
Yeah.
got fifth place chicken or whatever," and you have to go to the bank and they give you the
Yeah.
check over there.
Tickets are for the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this year is
And it
the
wasn't
first year they.
intentional. It wasn't intentional. They didn't really realize kind of
Yeah.
what was done until
And
after.
and
So
yeah,
It
and
was
that's a
good
conversation
for
that
Bill.
we can have.
yeah.
It worked for Bill though.
And again, Bill didn't really mind it.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean,
Bill, do you think they should change anything in Austin?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Absolutely not.
Josh and Reagan, do you think they
Absolutely
should
not.
change anything in Houston?
Man,
No,
the
hell
last
no.
couple of
No,
the last
Josh,
couple of years,
They could have
Austin has
got
been
better on the
really good.
ribs. They could have got better on the ribs.
I mean, we could have worked
I think
those
the last couple of
scores.
years, Austin has been really good since they moved to CBA.
I don't know. They did put me and Johnny in the very back parking spot last year, and I didn't come back this year. I was their top donor for 25 years. Donated 978 grand as a high school kid starting. And when they put me and Johnny Trigg in the very back spot, I said I won't come back.
Right. Yeah,
And
I think that was
I don't know. You don't put someone like Johnny, a 74-year-old man at the time, in the very back spot. And they had 6 months ahead of time notice.
Yeah.
man.
I haven't
Yeah, I
been
would
back
have never.
and won't
I
go
would have
back
never
since.
done that to Johnny Trigg. I would have never. But some of these people are unattached to barbecue. It's to them. It's a big. It's a big fundraiser, and they're not necessarily. Man, they don't know Johnny Trigg from John David.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure. I will tell you that Sunday awards aren't as lively, Sunday morning awards, as a Saturday evening award.
Seems
like
Bloody
kinda-
Marys in the world.
Yeah,
were-
kind of sluggish Sunday morning, just kind of. They're
They were
they're a
pretty
little more
lively.
exciting Saturday night.
Well, that's wrong, sir. They were pretty lively for that individual that kept slinging champagne or whatever it was everywhere. It didn't matter what.
I think I'm going to enter the most creative pit next year and see how I do.
Guaranteed to win.
I saw who won. I think I could beat him. So
Well,
Yeah.
put Kit Polk out there, you'll definitely win.
he's on my list. Shit. Man, we're hour 15 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys, but man, I really enjoyed thanks for coming on the show, both of you. Congratulations on the world championship.
Congratulations to you for Austin. That was a show, and you put it on them.
Man, I'm excited next year to Houston to have me, you, and Eddie there, and whoever else comes. It's going to be a great time for all of us.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Mr. Bill. Thanks.
More
thanks
than likely, we'll see Fred. We'll see Fred up there because he's going to win the Royal.
Right.
Let's go.
Maybe all of us will be up there. Phil's probably going to win the Jack.
Right.
I got to get there first, bro.
In your head, you're already there.
Don't count me out.
In your head, you're already there.
That would be pretty epic if all of us ended up, if Phil or
that
Fred
would be a lot of fun.
And the other one, Jack, it would be pretty.
That'd be a hell of a group up there on Compro.
There's a lot of
that'd be a slugfest for sure.
It's probably never happened. All Texas teams on Champions Row.
That would be a fun day.
It's probably never happened.
I doubt it.
Huh.
No pressure. Y'all got to win the Royal and the Jack, boys. We've done our part.
No big deal.
I'll go ahead. I think I'll go ahead and back off of those two and leave it open.
I mean, Fred deserves another row to go around.
I'm moving out of the country. I'm just going to go to international.
There you go.
It's right
That's
next
a good way to end up
Champions
there.
Row, and that's close enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have a wonderful evening.
Well, cool. You guys, close it out. Thank who you want to thank. If you got sponsors, I know, I know y'all don't have a
Blues Hog
list of them. Just Blues Hog. There you go. So, and
Blues
Josh?
Hog family, and thanks, thanks for all the help.
Congrats again, guys. Houston was huge, man. Man, happy for you guys, and that's I think that those contests are on everybody's bucket list, right? That's man, those
means a lot.
Those are legacy contests that everybody wants to win, and you guys pulled it off. So big congrats, man, to both of y'all on pulling that one off. And man, maybe next year will be better. I don't
know. You're always in the game.
All right, well, we'll shut it down, boys. We'll go backstage for a little bit.
All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.